On this episode, we are talking Red Dead Redemption 2, a Tomb Raider sequel on Next Gen, and August's game releases. Hello, fellow gamers. This is GamerCast Radio on Spreaker. I'm your host, Danny Captainese. It's Thursday, August 1st, and thank you for joining us. We're talking games, we're talking news, we're talking basically just games and news. Alright, anyway, so, first off, Red Dead Redemption 2. Will we see a sequel, or, how would you say, the trilogy, because there's already been 2 games, but a follow-up to Red Dead Redemption. Take-Two, the publisher of Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption and Borderlands, has went on to say they are looking into making permanent franchises other than the Grand Theft Auto series. So, I mean, basically what this is saying is franchises like Borderlands and Red Dead, we could see those going on to next consoles and onto the next generation, which is awesome. And by the looks of it, I mean, Red Dead Redemption sold 13 million copies, which is it's insane. So, with the success of Red Dead Redemption, I think it's only, obvious that we're going to probably see a new Red Dead Redemption on next-gen consoles, and maybe Borderlands. But as for right now, that is just speculation and just rumors. But what we do know, and what is a fact, is that trademarks were secured for the Bully franchise, and we haven't seen Bully game in a long time. I mean, they only came out with one Bully, and it was released so long ago. They did do a release to the Xbox 360 after the PS3 version, and it originally was a PS2 game, and then they made it a PS3 game, and then they made it a Xbox 360 game. So, a new trademark for Bully. So maybe we'll see a new Bully game, maybe a remake on with upscaled HD graphics on a PS4 and Xbox One on the next gen. We don't really know, but what we do know is that they have secured the logo and trademark for Bully. On to other news. Tomb Raider, a Tomb Raider sequel, and a Tomb Raider sequel on next gen. This was leaked a couple weeks back, and the Square Enix CEO for the Americas and Europe, his name is Phil Rogers, has confirmed a sequel to the acclaimed Tomb Raider reboot, and he said it's well into development. The overall concept for the sequel was leaked a couple weeks back. The announcement of a comic book that would bridge the gap between the games. So basically, you have your first Tomb Raider, and then you're going to have the comic book release, which is going to lead right into the sequel for next gen. He went on to say he can't provide further details, but to rest assured that they're not resting on their laurels, and the acclaim for Tomb Raider is recent success, and they'll be working hard to raise the bar even higher. So, new Tomb Raider sequel on next gen. Well into development, people. This is being worked on right now. And if you can't wait for the sequel to come out for the next gen, like I said, there is a comic book that's going to bridge the gap and tell the story in between the first and the second game, so you know what's going on, so you're not like lost when you jump in. All right. Now let's cover some Microsoft news. All right. Okay. Be nice. Calm down. They're doing something nice for us this month, so let's just be nice for them. Microsoft is to make Crackdown, the original Crackdown that is, Dead Rising 2, and Dead Rising 2 Prologue Case Zero free to download this month as part of their Games with Gold program. Thank you so much, Microsoft, for giving me a game that came out like 8 years ago. Crackdown? Really? You couldn't even give me Crackdown 2? Okay, anyway, but at least we get Dead Rising 2, and that's awesome, and that's just for having gold, so thank you so much for doing what PlayStation's been doing for a very long time, and with much better games. Last month, actually, was a pretty decent month, because they gave away Fable 3, Defense Grid The Awakening, and Assassin's Creed 2 in July for free, which is pretty awesome, but the month of August is lacking. Next, we are going to go and do the August game releases. And there's a lot of games getting released in August, and I'm just going to go and skim through these games because there is a lot of them. But on August 4th, you're going to have Pikmin 3 for Wii U, and that's actually out in Europe right now, but you'll be able to pick it up in the US on August 4th. There's also going to be some new DLC for Dishonored. It's called Dishonored: The Brigmore Witches, and that's going to be for PS3, Xbox 360, and for PC, and that's dropping in Europe on August 14th for PS3. There's not a specific date, but that is going to be in August sometime. They're also going to release a DuckTales Remastered in HD version for PS3, Wii U, and for PC. And I loved the original DuckTales game on the Nintendo Power System back in the day, and I actually have the ROM, and I actually still play it, which is really awesome. We're going to be looking at Payday 2. Wasn't a big fan of the first one, but for the fans of Payday, Payday 2 is going to be dropping on PS3, Xbox 360, and on PC. The critically ridiculed Saints Row 4 will be released this month also, which I'm sure a lot of people will be looking forward to. It always gets a lot of attention when Saints Row releases. It's very raunchy and very vulgar, so Saints Row 4 will be dropping for PS3, Xbox 360, and for PC this month. Also, we're looking at Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist, which is going to be released all across the board for PS3, Xbox 360, Wii U, and for PC. Next, we have The Bureau, XCOM Declassified. Now, this is a spin-off of the classic XCOM series that features permadeath and very strategic thinking. This is going to be released on PS3, Xbox 360, and for PC. Now, if you haven't played an XCOM game before, I would suggest doing some research, watching some videos, maybe picking a used copy up of Enemy Unknown. It features permadeath. Basically what that is it's permadeath, and if you get hit once or if you die, not if you get hit once, but if you die, and that's it. It's game over. There's no going back. But you can upgrade your characters usually and give them different guns, different abilities, different armor. But like I said, when you send your soldiers out there and they die, you lose everything and have to start all over with a new character and keep building them up. So, with that in mind, just be careful when going out and trying to buy the new XCOM game. It will have permadeath, and also it's going to be in first person for the first time in the whole series. On August 27th, we're going to be expecting Castlevania Lords of Shadow Ultimate Edition on PC. Final Fantasy XIV Online: A Realm Reborn will be released at the end of August, I believe August 29th. It's going to be dropping for PlayStation 3 and for PC. It is in beta right now. I did play this game in beta. The graphics looked good. They weren't great. I played Final Fantasy XI when it came to Xbox 360, and that was an MMO. And I got a little into that, but it kind of annoyed me most of the time, so I stopped playing it. Like I said, I did play this beta. It was good. If you're a fan of the original, if you like MMOs, it's going to be pretty awesome to play on your PS3. And also, it will be dropping for PlayStation 4, and if you have a character, it will carry over to the PlayStation 4. So if you start the character and you have you're building him up on the PS3 and you end up getting a PS4, don't worry. You will be able to bring your character over. Now, I don't know if they're going to give you a digital download, so you don't have to buy the game twice. I would hope they would do that and not be so stingy. But we do know you can carry your character over from the PS3. Also available in the month of August is Killer is Dead. That's going to be releasing for PS3 and Xbox 360. It's a cel-shaded futuristic hack-and-slash game where you'll be using a huge samurai sword with a artificial robotic arm that can hold various weapons that can decapitate your enemies. So it looks to be very bloody, very Quentin Tarantino-ish, so that looks pretty cool. It also says that it's going to play out in an episodic fashion with 13 adventures, and each will be as absurd, violent, and dazzling as the next. So, if you like cel-shaded games and kind of that anime feel, Killer is Dead will be dropping this month. August will also see the release of Lost Planet 3. Now, this is the prequel to 2006's Lost Planet. So we're not going to see a continuation of the story from Lost Planet 2. We're going to see a backup, and you get to see kind of what led up to the first Lost Planet. It's a third-person game. It's a shooter, and it's an alien shooter. Usually you shot aliens that were burrowing under the ground in the snow. So, Lost Planet 3, releasing this month. Madden fans are rejoicing because August is also the month of Madden NFL 25, which of course will be put on all platforms across the board again for PS3, Xbox 360. It's going to be dropping on PS4 and Xbox One. So next gen, current gen, NFL 25. All right. Moving on to other games. We will also see the release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Now, we don't know much about this game. We do know that it's like kind of a button masher. It kind of looks like a fighter where you get to pick which one of the turtles you want to take control of. So, for fans of the Nickelodeon show or just fans in general and like me of the old Ninja Turtles, hey, it's just something to pick up, something to play, something to fill our time. So, yeah, Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows out this month. And that looks like it's going to do it for the game releases for the month of August. August looks like it's going to be a very busy month and a good month for gamers. Again, there are a lot of games that are coming out this month. I just skimmed through and picked the big name ones and the ones I thought were interesting. So if you're still expecting something this August, I didn't get to it or didn't let you know, you can still check online or on YouTube. But thank you once again. This is going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, I would really appreciate it if you liked and shared and followed this station so you can be up to date with all the gaming news every day and every month. Like I said, I will be doing a podcast in the AM and the PM in case I miss anything. Once again, I am Danny Catanese, and thank you for listening to GamerCast Radio. I'll see you next time.